So I really wasn't going to make a video about this, but I feel it's something that needs to be addressed because I've seen a lot of people reacting to the announcement that Devil May Cry 5 is gonna have microtransactions even though it's a single player game. So let's clarify a few things. Matt Walker, the game's producer, for those who don't really follow the game, already said that they have balanced the game so that the buying of red orbs is optional because you can still earn them through gameplay. It's not something that you have to, daily log in like most phone games do, or games like Metal Gear Solid 5 that force you to, you have to play the game daily and log into a server to receive these bonus that you would otherwise have to spend real money on, like the MGS coins. So there's a few things that we need to clarify regarding this decision by Capcom to add microtransactions to Devil May Cry 5. The thing is that this isn't really Hideaki Itsuno, the game's director. This isn't really his decision. This is probably Capcom's top executives, the suits, the shareholders, breathing down his neck because this game has been anticipated for 10 years and Capcom knows that, and they know people are going to buy this game. Even people that haven't been real, Devil May Cry fans, they haven't played since the original release in 2001 in PS2. This is really a bit of a scummy move because this is just basically giving, it's not really. When you consider that it gives veteran players like people that make combo videos, Sakaki, Donguri, His One Nightmare, Bria, ChaserTech, those kind of people, it gives them the ability to get all the entire arsenal for characters right from day one. But here's the thing. When they added the microtransactions in Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, they also balanced the game to make getting Proud Souls and Red Orbs a lot easier than it was in the original game. Because when I played Devil May Cry 4 in Xbox, in PS3 and in PC, I remember I had to go through the whole game just to unlock most of Nero's abilities. I had to beat the game in like normal and then easy again just to be able to get all of Nero's abilities, and I didn't really have all of Dante's moveset when I was like halfway in Son of Sparta, which is I guess the hard mode. And in Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, by the time I was like in mission 15 playing as Virgil, I already had unlocked all of Virgil's abilities by then. I already had purchased all the upgrades, I already had gotten pretty much everything because it was incredibly easy to get red orbs so long as you played stylish, got S ranks, avoid getting hit, that kind of thing. So basically, even though the option was there to just fork over like I don't even know how much it costed. I think it was like $2 for like 20,000 or something like that. It was like I never spent any money on Devil May Cry Special Edition, Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, other than the money to buy the game originally. Even the stuff that you can unlock the super costumes from the get-go, it was like, or you can just beat the game in Dante Must Die and get it. The thing that the other people are saying, well, they're gonna balance the game to make people really have to fork over because they're gonna give you so little red orbs to make you buy orbs through microtransactions like they have done in GTA Online, where basically the only way you can get millions and millions of dollars is basically you have to purchase in-game credit cards. The demo that was shown at TGS, the Dante demo, we see that the player that was going through the demo got an S rank at the end of the mission, even though he was nearly killed. And Itsuno did come forward and say that they had lowered the difficulty, the requirements, to an S rank in the Dante demo because people were saying that the S ranks requirements for Nero in the PAX and Gamescom demo was too high. And that player, by the end of the demo, it shows that he got a bonus of 34,000 red orbs as a mission clear bonus. And when you consider that the deluxe edition is giving you a 100k red orb bonus for purchase. That's nearly 40% of the Loot Edition bonus in just one mission, where the player really didn't play stellarly, and he still got an S rank. So it isn't really that much of an issue if you can, play average enough. I mean, you would have to be completely terrible at the game, and I'm talking like Dark Side Phil levels of terrible at the game to be getting less than 10,000 orbs in a mission clear bonus. And there's another thing about why it really shouldn't shouldn't bother you if you're a Devil May Cry fan, if you have played any Devil May Cry game at least to an average level of skill. I'm not talking like, oh, you make combo videos, or no, you can go through the entire game playing in Legendary Dark Knight and not get hit. I'm talking like, just clearing the mission. That it doesn't really matter if you give a player the option to get all the moves like right from the start, because if it's a player that has never had the game like this in their hands, they're gonna have so many options. They won't know what to do with them. There's a reason why the Devil May Cry 4 had an auto skill buy option, which basically allowed you to choose, oh well, I want to choose Orthodox, which is basically, oh, these are like the basic moves that you need in Devil May Cry games, like, you have the launch attack, the stinger, or Nero's I forgot what it was called, the forward triangle or Y attack. You have the charge shots, you have the air combos, that kind of thing. Then it also gave you like the beginner, because a lot of people weren't really used to this kind of game, so it's basically abilities that most people can use without really using too much gray matter in. So the bottom line of this is that I'm treating this announcement, and I've been expecting this game for 10 years, well actually 3 years, since Dan Southward spilled the beans that Capcom had brought back Johnny, Ruben, and Dan himself back for a new project, and a lot of people began speculating that it was actually Devil May Cry 5. And if you have seen the leaks, well, you kind of already know why Dan was brought back as well. I've been expecting this game for a long time, and I'm treating this announcement the same way I treated the announcement of, oh, you can purchase everything right from the get-go in 14 Special Edition. It's basically, well, I'm not a scrub and I can get S ranks playing normally, and S ranks mean I get more souls and I get more orbs, so I don't have to fork over $5 because I really, really want to get a new item I'm not even gonna use, because I don't really, by the time you get to an above average, I would say, level of skill in a Devil May Cry game, items are really not necessary. They're optional to begin with. That is to say, I'm not for microtransactions in single player games, and I wish we could go back to the days where you could input cheat codes, like in the HD collection of Devil May Cry, where if you put the unlock everything code for Devil May Cry 3, it doesn't let you save, but you can use the super costumes and that kind of thing, but you won't have all of Dante's abilities unlocked or all of Virgil's abilities unlocked. It's kind of the same thing, I believe. But even when you consider, oh yeah, but we had cheat codes back then, yeah, and cheat codes were a way to make you buy gaming magazines, because that was where originally publishers would go and say, hey, if you put this on your magazine, it might sell more. Like, a lot of cheat codes didn't really come in the game manual, they came in third-party magazines. And the sad part of this is that the state of the industry doesn't really allow game directors to make what we will call a full game anymore. Like, for example, we even had this isn't really that new, because we had this sort of thing in Assassin's Creed 2, where it was like I think it was sequence 13 and 14 that you had to buy as DLCs, the game would skip from 12 to 15, and those sequences that were missing later came out as DLC. It's something that Japan has picked on as well, because they have a very, if it's good for the West, then it's good for us too mentality. So, and that Capcom is adding the microtransactions to the game, while it is bothersome, it isn't really gonna like take out a lot of my experience with the game, because I'm still buying the game. I mean, I have been waiting 10 years for it, and I actually trust Itsuno to, you know, come through and say, oh, we're balancing the game like we did Devil May Cry 4, so you don't really have to spend real money to get what you need. And I'm also pretty confident that if you play on an above average level, you can basically have no need for this kind of thing. I think a lot of people are drowning in a glass of water over this thing, and it's not really as tragic as they're making it out to be. Anyway, this has been my opinion on the subject. You're free to argue with me or tell me to kill myself on the comments. I'll see you whenever I choose to upload something else again.